everybody. Welcome to Isolation Comedy by Comedy Wham. We've been doing this for 3 months now. Time does not exist. Texas is opening up because we thought it was over. Highest boom in one single day was Texas yesterday. So if your friends are out and they're like, "Oh, it's fine," tell them to get back inside here and tell them about the show, okay? Hashtag isolation comedy. How fun and safe is that? What is Comedy Wham? Well, Comedy Wham is Austin's comedy. They release podcasts, articles, album reviews, and host live events. Do it on Tuesdays and Fridays. Do it on Tuesday, Fridays. That's us. That's us right now. We're doing that. Except we don't do it on Tuesdays anymore. But thank you for having us in your house. This is not a stand-up show. Sometimes if this was a stand-up show, you would come to my place and I'd be like, "Shut the fuck up. If you say anything, I'll make fun of you. And buy 2 drinks, you son of a bitch. You don't, and shut the fuck up." But we would love you to drink as much as you want and hop over there in the chat and say hello. Say, "Hey, how am I doing? I feel so lonely," so I will be in that chat right now. I had a conversation with my boyfriend's nephew because I will talk to anyone at this point. He's 3, so his whole thing is that he can count to 3, and everybody's acting like, "Oh, this is cool shit." And so I said, hey, Cole, do you know how old I am?" And he said, "No," because he doesn't care about anybody but himself. And I said, "I'm 30." And he said, "I don't know how much that is." So I said, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. And he said, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa." And then I said, "Fuck you, Cole. I look good. I look really good." And then he said, "Yes." So that kid's probably gonna be gay as hell or some shit like that. Oh yeah, let me tell you about how fucking free the show is. It's so free. So thank you for being here. If you would like to contribute and you're like, "I don't know who I love so much," if you go and you type in the Venmo right there, you can just Comedy Wham doesn't take anything, and then they distribute it at the end of the show. If you do have a comic that you like, Venmo them and put a little saucy message in there, all right? Because people read money. That's just a fact. I never not read money. It's one of my whole things. I read money. So if you want to call me a son of a bitch and a person who's wearing a dirty shirt, that's fine. Just send some money and let me know about that. One other joke that I wanted to try is, does anybody else not trust their grandma when they tell you about what happened in World War II? Because you'll be like, "What happened in World War II?" And then she'll be like, "We didn't have a lot of metal." She's like, "Come on, what about the Nazis? What about the war?" And she's like, "Oh, no, we didn't have as many Christmas presents." She's like, "What? What?" I mean, I thought that when some like big event happened, everybody had a cool story. But then the pandemic happened, and I can tell you about this gay meth man who owns a bunch of lions and makes gay straight homo meth. Okay, feedback noted. I'll work on it. How about some excellent comedians, though? We have a good show. It's 10 comics long. Everybody's doing 6-minute sets. They know that, but now you know that too. Let me tell you about this first comedian coming up. She has been on Moon Tower, Fun Fest, reigning a fantastic fest nerd, rope rap champion. Ooh, a rapper? Fuck yes. I hope she roasts me. Check out new song, Ted Cruz is the Zodiac Killer on SoundCloud at soundcloud.com, hashtag Versace Colace. Give it up for Kat RAMZINSKI. Woo!
Yeah. All right. Hey, everybody. everybody. Super excited to be here during this corona. I have to be honest, this is so fucking weird to me, the whole coronavirus thing, because everybody's like so sad and miserable, and they're like, "Oh, I'm stuck inside."
If you want to play something, go ahead.
What? Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Someone just asked. I think I'm hearing fucking voices. Oh, okay. Sorry, guys. Hey, you know what? It's fine. I'm very high right now. I have to be honest. This quarantine thing, and this is just me speaking from the heart. This is not a joke. It's everybody's so upset. They're like, I can't go outside. I'm stuck inside all day. I'm miserable. I'm here 24/7. My sleep schedule's backwards. Like everyone's saying this shit, and I'm like, this is how I live my whole life. Like legitimately, this is my job requires me to just be home all day, and I don't really leave the house anyway. And I also don't really talk to people, and I don't really go anywhere, and I order a lot of things out. So to me, this is just like a normal situation. And to see how upset the rest of the world is at it makes me go, oh my God, like my best case scenario is their worst case scenario. And it's like a very strange experience because the more I'm seeing people get upset, the happier I'm becoming. So I feel like Tinkerbell, almost like the more people COVID takes, the stronger I get. I'll regret that one later, I'm sure. It's seriously been really hard to write jokes through this, but we got that Disney Plus network thing, and we started watching The Mandalorian, and we just finished it. And I remember when I first saw it, I was like, oh my God, Baby Yoda. Like I got really excited at Baby Yoda. Like he's the cutest thing I've ever seen. And I remember like turning to my boyfriend and being like, oh my God, this makes me want our own Baby Yoda. And since I love cigarettes, I'm thinking we can make this happen. Like, if I get pregnant and smoke enough, I'm almost positive I will get a replica of Baby Yoda. And I will love it as my own. And this joke always gets weird at this next part because I found something out about Baby Yoda, and it's not really a spoiler. And that's what pisses me off is they don't tell you in The Mandalorian. It's just something you're supposed to fucking know. And I hate stuff like that. It's like, tell me so I know. I don't want to hear about it later. And that is that the Baby Yoda is not actually a baby. It turns out he's fucking 50 years old. The Baby Yoda is a 50-year-old man. And when I heard that, like the first thing I thought was like, yes, because that means we can fuck the Baby Yoda, you guys. Like legally I can make love to Baby Yoda. And I'm going to, because he looks like a giant floating anal bead. Like it's obvious what he was made for. Yeah. It's going well. I watched a bunch of those old Disney princess flick things, and I can definitely tell how fucked up I've become as an adult because I did watch The Lion King, and the difference between being a kid and watching it and being an adult and watching it is, as a kid, like I cried a lot when Mufasa died, but as an adult, I just maniacally laughed. Like I could not stop. And it's like, I feel really dark. But then I saw the parts where like the birds dress the princesses in the morning on the other movies. I kept thinking like, who the fuck wants that? You know? Like a princess is supposed to be something that you attain to, right? It's like a heightened sense of self. Like you are now a part of a fucking monarch. Like live like one bitch. You have mice serving you teeth and shit. And all I can think is like, that's how you're gonna get the plague. And then the birds come in and like, I just have bad luck. So they'd probably just peck at me a lot and not dress me. And I naked and covered in wounds. So I feel like being a Disney princess isn't actually that cool. Like I just don't like the idea of a shitload of birds around me. But at the same time, no, I don't want birds to dress me up in the morning, but I do constantly think about tiny baby shrimp cleaning my body at night. That would be fucking cool. And I don't know why they don't offer that. And I like to keep going on birds because I have a lot of feelings about birds. Most of them negative. First of all, a bird had the last comedy show I did, a bird shit on my head when I was walking into it. And an improver told me, like, oh my God, that is fucking good luck for a bird's feces. Like the stuff the bird ate all day, like worms, bugs. It probably nested. It probably walked around some dirty fucking parking lots. And this bird ate this shit and then made the shit in its tiny little bird body and then festered in the sun, flying around all day doing bird shit. And then it literally did bird shit on my head. And the feces that came out of its ass was dripping down my face. And an improv kid said, again, they said, this is good luck to have fecal matter from a flying rat on your face. Now, the first thing I said, because I'm a good person, I said, yes, and. Thank you.
Oh my God.
But then I started thinking, like, this is a really good way to get pink eye. And speaking of pink eye, I do have a boyfriend. And the way I met him was I had a black eye. I walked into a bar and I had this black eye. And the thing is, when you're trying to meet guys and you have a black eye, it never works because they look at you and they go, oh, she's taken, you know. And then I went into this bar and I met him, and now he's my boyfriend and he's here. And I was invited him to do a sexy dance, but he will definitely show under boob. And I think my time's up, right? Okay, thanks, bye. Happy.
Give it up for Kat. That was great. I think that improvisers need a little luck. You know, one time I was shit on by a bat, and
You got corona.
You guys are all in quarantine now. Bringing it down. My bad. This next comic, it was featured on Portlandia. She's the founder of Portland Queer Comedy Festival. Give it up for Belinda Carroll. Woo! Woo!
Hey, everybody. Yay! This is only my second Zoom show, and so it's completely bizarre to me so far. It feels a little like a recovery meeting as well, so we might lapse into it. I'm excited to be here. I'm so excited to be here. All I've been doing for the last 3 months is just eating peanut butter cups in my bedroom, and I've got to stop doing that because I've gained 40 pounds since I started listening to Lizzo. It's the worst. So I did my last show on March 11th, and then I started working for an emergency houseless shelter, and so that's been a total trip. I feel like the protagonist in a Russian novel all of a sudden. Like all I'm doing is taking care of people. It's crazy. But my entire dating criteria has changed now. I used to look for a girl that had like a nice 401k. She had a good 5-year plan. Now I'm like, do you know how to skin a squirrel? Can you skin a squirrel? We can do it. So, yeah. So anyway, so I have gained a solid 40 pounds. Like it's been, like they closed all the hiking trails. They blocked all the lesbian ways to keep in shape. I'm like, I can't camp. I don't know what to do now. And I don't really even care. I feel like I got too thin there for a while. Like I got thin enough that white guys started hitting me. It's disconcerting. Do you know what I mean? Like there's a very fine line, and some people know about this. There's a very fine line. And I remember the day it happened. I was getting out of the minivan, going to the arc, and this dude rushes to open the door for me, which seems like a nice gesture. But the thing is, I'm a lesbian. This is like developing a superpower that I never wanted. Just like the ability to manifest just a shit ton of cilantro for no reason. Just like, what do you do with this much cilantro? And for like 80% of the population, cilantro is a fine garnish. But for 20% of the population, that shit tastes like soap. Okay. Oh, what else do I want to talk about? So I had a friend of mine who she produces the comic strip show here, and if you don't know comic strip, some cities do it, some cities don't. So you tell your jokes and then you take off a piece of clothing and then you go back into your act. And so I've done the show before, but she was like, "Hey, do you think we should try it like in this atmosphere, like it's a Zoom show?" And I was like, I didn't want to do it because I was like, bitch, I've been in quarantine for 3 months. This shit looks like the yard around an abandoned building. Like, it's just the grass is all overgrown. There's like 2 pit bulls fighting for no reason. There's like a broken down Camaro. It says no trespassing. Is this working or not working? I can't tell. I hate these fucking shows. This is like the weirdest webcam work ever. Like I'd be like, can I do something to myself that's a little less awkward than just talking to myself? Yeah. I'm thinking about looking like my mother. I'm 44, which is a fucking weird age to be. Like I feel like I'm just like I don't know. I'm like a grown-up club kid, which is just strange. Like I feel like I'm in between the age between like wearing hot pants to a club or like stiffing a little tissue up my sleeve for later. Like very. But I'm really glad that this whole quarantine didn't happen in my 20s because I would be going fucking insane. Shout out to anybody that's going insane because they hate leaving their house. This kind of works for me. I'm like, later I'm just going to put my robe on and I'm going to watch like 9 hours of Antiques Roadshow, and that will be my evening. Anybody else super into Antiques Roadshow? No one. How the hell do I want to end this whole thing? I think I'm just going to bow out. I've been Belinda Carroll. Thank you. Bye.
Woo!
Belinda Carroll. I've also gained a bunch of weight. I have been offering large men to pick me up and set me down, but really, it's just I'm selfless. I'm selfless. That's why. This next man, he can pick me up and set me down if he was in the same state, but he is not here. He is executive producer and head writer of Fashion Police and Joan Rivers' opening act. Put your hands together for Tony Tripoli.
Oh, thank you guys. Thank you, Colton, for having me tonight. This look, okay, we're not gonna lie, quarantine sucks. I've had a lot of quality time with my boyfriend. I have a boyfriend. He's much younger than I am because I'm. Woo! And I've learned in this quarantine with us time together that anything can be an argument. So that's the takeaway. These Zoom comedy shows are kind of a nightmare. I think everyone agrees they're a disaster. It's really funny though if you look at what you're seeing during my 6 minutes versus like everybody else. Like you can tell a gay guy over 50 by the lighting on a Zoom meeting. Like it's the same rules as Grindr, basically. I know there's straight people listening in. Like straight people, you're so cute. You try, but like, do you know really what Grindr is? Because like I think straight people think you know what Grindr is. Like I think you think it's like, you know, like Tinder, but for gays. But like it's not. It's very different from Tinder. Like on Tinder, people have, I don't know, last names. Like, yeah, we don't have time for that bullshit over on the Grindr. Okay. Like, okay, here's the good example. Grindr is more like the Domino's pizza app. Because like, you know, it uses your GPS and like you order exactly what you want, only like instead of a pizza, it's cock and balls. But still, it shows up to your door hot and ready, 30 minutes or less. Like, that's the point. And if you put the whole thing in your mouth, you'll feel disgusting. So I don't mean to be cranky. I'm trying to be like in a more positive space, but this is like a super bummer having to do this like shit on Zoom, like it's stand-up comedy, but like I'm sitting in a stool in my kitchen. I also like I'm taking tap classes, which is like in and of itself that's already degrading. But like now the tap classes have gone to Zoom because we can't all like be in a room together. So in a room of other midlife crisis homosexuals, it's completely humiliating. And to be clear, I'm not doing it as like a bucket list thing or anything. I just need to be ready when Mitch McConnell dies. That's gonna be a good day. No, but it's like the most fucked up time, right? And look, I was really excited that Mayor Pete was running. I was very excited about his candidacy. The flip side of that same coin was obviously as a comedian, you know, remember when we used to be on planes all the time? And like I always inevitably was next to, you know, a middle-aged white lady. I think now we know her name is Karen. But I always like have to say like, oh, this is such an exciting time for your people, you know, with Mayor Pete. And so I would always be like, what are you talking about exactly? And she'd be like, well, you know, the first openly gay candidate running for president. It's so exciting. It's like, you know, he's such a trailblazer. And I was always like, well, we've had a gay vice president for 3.5 years. No one seems to be talking about that. Because we all know Mike Pence is super gay. Like, I'm not breaking it. Mike Pence is so gay, he's in the new Taylor Swift video. Mike Pence is so gay, his car in the motorcade is a Kia Soul. You guys, Mike Pence is so gay, his Secret Service code name is Shangela. It's not good. It is. It's like a kind of a nightmare time, you know, for my people. Obviously, it's worse for Black and brown people because everything is always worse for Black and brown people. But I'm white, and so you know, I'm just gonna. For gay people, it's a horrible time. Is my point, right? Like my vice president thinks he can electrocute the homo out of me, and my president's hair looks like that's exactly what happened to him. The straight ladies that are on here, can you imagine having sex with Donald Trump?
No.
Like, can you, like, literally, can you even imagine? Like, we know Melania can't, but can you even? Because again, I'm a shallow middle-aged homosexual, so I just go if this is what he's walking around with up here. What in the hell? Swirling around down below that southern border. Just build the wall. Build the wall.
Oh my God.
No, but like whatever, we're friends. Like that little mushroom dick of his must look like a midget trapped in a tornado. And it's not. I'm not trying to. It's not just the men. Like obviously Trump is the worst. Pence is horrible. Mitch McConnell's a nightmare. Lindsey Graham, I hope you burn in hell. But like the women, Kellyanne Conway. Holy fuck! How does Kellyanne Conway sleep at night? That's a rhetorical question. The answer is in a closet, hanging upside down with her wings crossed over her face like a bat. But I think that's how coronavirus started, literally. I don't think somebody ate a bat in Wuhan. I think her husband just ate her out one weekend and then spread it to everybody. No, it's terrible. And I think part of the reason that I hate Kellyanne so much is, as a gay man, I am like super judgmental, especially I think of women and the, you know, beauty standards that we as gay men have subjected them to, you know, and like I just resent anyone that makes that kind of money and then looks like such hot shit all the time. You know what I mean? Like she makes $250,000 a year, and then every Sunday she's on all the talk shows, you know, looking like cold cat turds on a paper plate. Like, although in fairness, I suppose it must be really hard to do your hair and makeup when you don't have a reflection. So no, look, I'll go, but my takeaway is like whatever your job is, you have to just like do your job. Like we're all doing our best. Like whatever your religious beliefs are, have them. But like when you're at work, you need to be at work. Like if you're a pharmacist and a woman has a prescription for the morning after pill, just give her her goddamn pills. If you give marriage licenses and some faggot wants a license, give them this piece of paper. If you work in a bakery and some old lesbians want a wedding cake, make them a cake. And by the way, if you do ever bake a cake for old lesbians, please make it a moist cake. No, I'm begging you, please. Don't ask them to eat an old dry cake. They get enough of that at home. All right, you guys. My name is Tony Tripoli. Enjoy your weekend. Thank you.
Love you, Tony.
Tony Tripoli.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good point. If you're rich, don't be ugly too. Y'all need to remember that. Okay. Change. You could change. We can't change. We. Joining us. This is Isolation Comedy. Thank you guys so much. If you would like to give any of the comics money, you know the drill. We've been doing this for 3 months. Share, subscribe, like, all those things. How about another comic? Okay. Okay. I just realized that I don't have credits for this next person, but I know them because I'm lucky and you are lucky to have them. I met this next comic at High Plains Comedy Fest in Denver. That's because this comic travels and had Comedy Central credit. It was on the Austin. Fuck, they're not here. Anyways, they released a Comedy Central set. Give it up for ROJO PEREZ.
Woo!
Thank you. Keep it going for Clifton. Good friend over there. Really nailed that intro. We've only been organizing this show for 10 days. Glad we nailed it. Hey everyone. Nice to see me. I had to go run and put a hat on because me and Tony have similar hair, but his is much more kept. And I was like, man, I'm not following this. Tony looks like he lives alone, like he lives well. I was like, no, I'm not doing this. I'm not looking at the sad version of me after this. I guess we can knock out. Let's get some I guess, COVID stuff out. Hope everybody's doing okay. I've gotten to a point, I don't know if you guys are at this yet, where I'm starting to pull pranks on myself, like just to keep it fun. like I put boxers on last week just so my dick would think we had somewhere to go. You know what I mean? It was like, oh shit, we got something to do today? Okay. I think my favorite part, I think that, and funniest or whatever, but I think I cracked me up when I found out that the Happy Birthday song was like the song that people recommend that you sing while you wash your hands. They're like, sure, but like whoever came up with this was definitely asking for more help than helping, because it's the saddest thing you can do. Like, I don't know how often you guys are washing, but if you're just in the bathroom staring in the mirror alone, like I feel right now, and you just start going, happy birthday. And you're like, oh, we got to do this twice? Okay, don't worry, I'll let it take me. I get what Belinda was talking about. I don't mind I like doing these shows, but it always feels a little off. Like every time I do a Zoom show, I feel like Chuck Knobloch trying to throw the first. Or it's just like, I mean, I wanted to get there, but that shit could go anywhere. Like, I have no clue where it's going. Solid mid-90s reference. This has been a fun thing I've been doing during quarantine. My favorite new game is to like get high and go to the grocery store. Like go, but not like high where it's like I'm distracted by jelly. Dude, and like not that high, but like high enough that like I'm on a mission. So it's a fun feeling. Like I'll get a little high and then I'll put my little mask on and I feel like a war doctor going to save like a wounded family of vegetables. Yeah. Or like, man, we on a mission. Like that sort of high. Like it's a very, you got to have a list ready and you're focused and you walk in and you got to go and all you want to do is save some fruit. And that's all. Hey, not everybody's going to make it. Some of the oranges are going to be dry. Some might split through the middle. But you got no orange left behind. That's the America I'm trying to live in. I'm quarantined alone, pretty alone. I'm not with a partner, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. And that stuff's always impressive. Like people who are quarantined with someone else, even if you live with them, because this is all you're doing now. Like couples that can really make it for a while, like that shit's impressive to me. like my parents did 35 years. Like I say like a sentence, but yeah, did 35 years together. And afterwards, I think my dad found like the loophole and he was like, oh, till death do us part, I'm out. That is a tough joke to tell. I'm fucking around. They were saying, I mean, my parents, I'll joke with it because my parents, like, I know they still loved each other. So it's like, I know they won't take it. Like, my mom won't take this personal. Like, I knew they still loved each other because whenever my dad would walk around the house in boxers, my mom would like reach for his crotch and be like, whose is that? Like, whose is that? And she like go try to like fake grab it. And it was the best. And sometimes she'd switch it up and she'd be like, give me that. Whoop, whoop. And she'd like, because she wouldn't say the word because she's a lady. So she'd like catcall my dad's penis. She'd be like, give me that whoop whoop. And you should smile more. Like that sort of. the I think I was thinking about, I've been trying to think about family stuff and also the idea of when was the last time I felt safe? Like with all this going on, you start kind of processing. When was the last time you genuinely felt safe? Like, I don't know. All right. When I was in when I was in college, you want to comment on that, but you can't because nobody else hears it. When I was in college, I was dating a young lady. After we came back from bar, we were like hooking up, whatever. And mid hookup, she like got up, something processed, she left, walked out, like put a little like something on, walked out, popped her neighbor's tires, all four, because they were in a tiff, and then came back and we finished. And I think that's the last time I felt safe. Thank you guys so much for the invite. This was super fun. Bye.
Rojo Perez, everybody. On Alcainos and Coden. I already looked it up. I was wrong. I'll go back. I'm not gonna not go back. He deserves his credits. Okay, he worked. Okay, there's lightning in Austin, and you know what else is coming out of Austin? Our next guest. She lives in Chicago right now, and she's host of Laughish at the Laugh Factory, Chicago. Give it up for Rachel Hall.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome, congregation. This is my very first Zoom show.
Woo! Yeah.
Cheers. I didn't know what to do, so I made a sign that I realize now is backwards and was a waste of my time. It'll come through. It is what it is. This is honestly the first time. This is the most I've done in 3 months, you guys. 3 months is the first time I've actually ever put on makeup. I'm feeling real proud of myself. I got to be completely honest with you. I've been feeling really proud of myself, considering that I only take a shower once a week now, and I've been wearing the same clothes for at least a month. So. Next up, I'm looking like a real snack, but down south. I don't even want to smell that. This is so weird for me because I do have, like they were saying, I have a show at Laugh Factory, and I host so much now that I desperately want to say, how is everyone doing tonight? No one here, right? It's just me and the Moesha Diary music playing in the black because I want to make sure you people knew I was black. I don't know who I am anymore. It's really sad. This whole Corona thing it really sucks. It really sucks because I gotta be real clear. I actually like the fact that I've been home for 3 months. I don't miss, like I miss y'all, but I don't miss none of y'all. You know what I'm saying? The whole idea that I don't have to come up with another lie to say I'm just not going to your dumbass improv show has been the biggest stress reliever. Because I can't keep up with them anymore. I've killed off so many family members and had to write so many papers for a master's degree I'll never get. And now I can just say no. It's wonderful. Something that I've oh, hold on, my Moesha music went away. That's bullshit. Another thing that I've really loved about this coronavirus is the mask that we all have to wear. All walking around looking like Scorpion from Mortal Kombat. I've always had an issue, you know, being a comic. Everyone thinks we're very personable. We want to talk to you about our bits and share our little skits with you. And the truth is, we don't at all. We just smoke cigarettes with each other after the show and leave. But one thing that has like been so great is that I realize is how much of a blessing these masks are, because finally I can truly act like I don't see you in public. There's no, I don't have to wave at you and then come up with yet another lie as to why I can't talk to you. I can just look down and say, it's it's relieving. I've been living my best white woman life since I've been home. Woo! By myself. I bought $70 worth of yarn. That's pretty cool. I've walked other people's dogs and cared about them for once. This weird, and I don't know if I remember telling you guys, but I also haven't bathed in a week. So I'm feeling a lot like Gwyneth Paltrow. I'm charging up my yoni vibrator now so I can really get into it. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing anymore, you guys. Like, what do I do now that I can't lie to people? I've been facing my own truth for hours now, and I hate myself. You guys, realizing how annoying you are to yourself, it makes me wonder why I've ever tried. Have you guys annoyed yourselves yet? Have you guys just woken up and looked in the mirror and were just like, bitch, fuck you? How has anyone been tolerating me? My fucking Moesha music went off again and killing my vibe. Now that I've been here by myself, though, I'm 33. My birthday hit right when the coronavirus shut everything down. So I walked into Jesus here, going into the fucking tomb, and I've been realizing now, like, fuck, I really want to get married, which is the sad thing for me. So I've been doing the swipes and going on quarantine dates. I realized I used to think, you know, Rachel, you're single because people just can't handle you. People just can't handle you, okay? You guys, the other day, someone asked me what I like to do for fun, and I hung up. What do you mean I like to do for fun? Are you serious? I wake up, it's the same shit you do. You would think that just the swipes are bad enough, but like a gym pic in a profile is very cheap, right? No one swipes on the gym pic guy. What happens when you quarantine them and he's still in the fucking gym? Have you realized nothing? People have gotten worse, you guys. It's awful. I don't know. Maybe I have no tolerance for anything anymore. You know, I feel like this has aged me in a way. It's aged me because you know how 60-year-olds, people who are 65 and older, they feel like nothing applies to them and they can just say what they want and we're okay with it. You know what I mean? Yeah, sure, I don't like the blacks. Yeah, viruses aren't real. Okay. Now, when someone asks me anything on these quarantine days, they're just like, Rachel, why are you so single? And I say, I don't know, maybe because the last time I fucked a guy, I laughed at him when he came. Like, I don't. You guys, I just don't have the patience for it anymore. It's all just weird, you know, just trying to figure out where you belong in the quarantine world, and if this is over or when this is over, if you'll be able to go on. Like, I had hopes and aspirations, you guys, of being like a famous comic and really being out there and making something of myself. And now with all this corona, you mean to tell me I have to work at a grocery store from now on? What skills do I have? I have to be the happy bagger? Tell me more about your spaghetti. I had dreams. This is trombone, which is our version of The Light, but I also feel like it's also my theme song. And I feel like I want to leave you guys on a classic joke, but I don't remember them. So here's what we're gonna do. I just want all of you guys to say, stay safe. What the fuck am I? Stay safe out there. Send me money on the Venmo. And if you get a chance, go on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, watch all the old episodes of Laugh-ish, including the one with Tiffany Haddish. It's been real. If you guys ever come to Chicago, don't call me. I have COVID.
Rachel Hall, everybody.
Woo!
I was thinking, I want to go to Chicago after all this is done. She finished her setup being like, do not come here. Loud and clear. Oh, we have a couple more comics left. This next one is a producer of Winnie Peach Comedy, online writing classes, now available, winniepeach.com. Give it up and make a lot of noise in your own house for Sarah Jordan.
Oh my gosh, hello. This has been so much fun so far. Thank you so much for having me. I have been isolating, living alone, not to brag. But the thing that I'm most concerned about right now, honestly, is not the virus. The thing I'm concerned about is that for the last few months, I've been getting issues of Vanity Fair, Vogue, Shape Magazine, Rachel Ray Every Day that I did not order. And you guys, it's gotten really excessive. And I'm spending a lot of time looking at these magazines that I know that I didn't order them, but I also don't know who they're for because the content is absolute trash. Can I just say that? I'm going to do something kind of risky, and I'm going to share my desktop so I can show you something. And when you know that you've got my desktop up, let me know. It's going to be so much fun. Okay, here we've got the screen now, right? We all see me and what's on my screen? Okay, we see the picture-in-picture and the screen. Okay, don't worry about what you saw. Okay. So inspired by these magazines. This is bad advice with me, Stan Gordon. If you've ever seen a magazine targeted toward a human being, it's all about dicks. Every single magazine cover is about how to make him come.
Do you want to turn off the light?
And it's exhausting. You'll see every single one of these magazines, sex tips, sex tips, sex tips, sex tips. So what I've done is I've gone through and I've highlighted my favorite sex tips, and I've given them a fun street name. So we're going to go through them. Number 1, try tapping his penis back and forth like you're volleying a tennis ball. I call this the Wimbledon. Next up, tell your man you need some change. Then stick your hand in his pocket and touch his penis through the fabric while you pretend to dig for quarters. It's like assault, but for a very small amount. Bonus tip, whisper something in his ear like, is that a roll of quarters in your pocket, or are you just glad to see me? They published this in a magazine. Someone was paid to write this. It's called the Prick Pocket. Next up, during oral, instead of just bobbing up and down, try shaking your head from side to side. For a full spectrum experience, I call that the wet dog. You can tell he's very concerned about where her teeth are at. Number 4, dip your breasts in body paint and use them to sponge paint his entire body or his bedroom, depending on how big your areolas are. The Monet. I like that her boobs kind of look like glazed donuts, because so do mine. All right, tip number 5. Place his penis through the hole of a donut, my favorite, and then eat the donut off. I call this the horny homer or the DO nut. Pro tip, don't try this with a toasted bagel. It will not work with a toasted bagel. I repeat, do not do this with a toasted bagel. Number 6, sprinkle a little pepper under his nose right before he finishes. Ooh, because you know how they always warn you, right? No. They never tell you. Fun fact, whenever a guy asks me where I want him to come, I play a fun prank, and I go, to dinner with my parents! And he doesn't like it. Just kidding, I make him come in the trash can where it belongs. Okay. Sprinkle a little pepper under his nose. Sneezing and orgasms are closely linked, so it'll double the pleasure. This is Sergeant Pepper's Spicy Cum Time Band.
Wow.
You can tell I've been alone a long time by how fat the ass I drew was. Oh, we're almost done here. Number 8, wrap them tightly in a bed sheet so they can't do anything with their arms. Just kidding, don't do this. That's the burrito. No, it's not sexy. It's horrible. Don't do that. And last but not least, after sex, pick up your underwear from the floor and use it to tie your hair back. It'll show that you're fun, casual, easygoing, and absolutely trash. The updo me. Okay. So that's what I've learned from Cosmo Magazine in this last few weeks. It's a lot of what not to do when you get to be around another person again. But I'll be honest, I've been satisfied just by my own drawing, so I don't need to do anything else. Okay, well, that's all I prepared for you guys tonight. Thank you for taking this little magazine journey with me. If anyone needs some collage materials, I have a lot. Let me know. And with that, I've been Sam Gordon. Thank you guys so much for having me. This has been so much fun.
Sam Gordon.
Yay!
I was wondering what this straight equivalent of poppers were. I didn't realize it was pepper. Fun. I knew that's how straight sex works. How fun. Me learning. Couple comics left. This next person was a two-time FBI semi-finalist and professional handsome young boy. Give it up for Jake Rowe.
Hey, everybody. Thank you for coming out of your, robes, bathtubs, showers, hot tubs, wherever you were, trying not to drown yourself inside your head. Welcome to the show. Thanks for coming. I'm very happy to be here. Guys, a little bit about me. I treat spiders like I treat my ex-girlfriends. You know what I'm talking about? I respect them, of course. I, hope they're doing well. But if I see one in person, I'm going to kill it. So not emotionally responsible or mature. Before all this started, right now, like nobody's traveling, but there's still places that you hate to travel. Before this all started, I was accurately talking about how much of a garbage city Amarillo is. And this girl, she overheard me. She got very upset. She said, "Hey, I'm from Amarillo. Amarillo is a great city." I said, "Okay, name one good thing about Amarillo." She said, "The night sky in Amarillo is so beautiful. Can't be beat. Can't be beat." I said, "All right, if the best part about your city is outer fucking space, that's a garbage ass city. Yeah. Fun fact, most of those stars are dead. You know why? Because they had to shine their light on Amarillo. It's not a good time. Even if we're allowed to travel again, do not go. It's not worth it." Totally unrelated, but do you guys know about classical conditioning? Y'all heard about this shit? This classical conditioning shit. For those of you that don't know, the most famous example is that of Pavlov's dog. Basically, there was this guy, we'll call him Pavlov. He did this experiment where he would ring a bell and then he'd give his dog a treat. And he did that so much that over time, it got to the point that every time the dog heard the bell, it would salivate, have a natural reaction to the sound of the bell. See, I have a similar thing because I exclusively do cocaine in public bathrooms. So I just come up with like movie script, app ideas, and boat names. Super exciting. I actually just started paying a dude to pee in front of me, and turns out way more expensive than cocaine, guys. Way more. Yeah. Craigslist is not your friend. Also, speaking of cocaine, I wonder how many people nowadays think that I have COVID-19 just because I'm walking around constantly just coughing and, sniffling. But it's just I'm a coke addict that's chain smoking all the time. But it's fun to just walk through Walmart terrifying people and them thinking that I just went to the store instead of that I'm just a drug addict. It's very fun. It's very fun. Also, guys, a little bit about me. Before this whole thing started, I was not already in a great place. In the couple months before quarantine started, I'd been broken up with. I had been dumped. I had been robbed, and I, found out I had hemorrhoids, which sucked. Aww. But yeah, there was a bright side. On the bright side, I did realize that I don't have depression. Hold your applause, everyone. The way I realized that I don't have depression is I've always heard that people with depression are really good at hiding it. And people tell me I look sad all the time. So
we'll be happy to have another audience.
Apparently I'm great. No, my girlfriend, she did actually break up with me right before the quarantine. And for the few weeks, I wasn't really doing anything. Had a lot of time to just think about it, think about what went wrong. And I think I figured it out. And what I think happened was right before we broke up, we had recently discussed trying anal sex for the first time. And she said she was gonna And I think I was just a little too quick to say, "Oh, I don't mind." So trying to comfort her, think it had a effect. It was just a little draw there. But no, now I'm single, on the apps, on the dating game, you know, fucking like, is anyone else so bad at talking to girls you read books for help? No. I don't mean self-help books, okay? I mean serial killer biographies. I mean, say what you will about the guys, they know how to charm a lady, all right? Lady killers. Most of them. Also, like, I wish I had something unique about me, something to set me apart, but I don't. Like, you can all see my face right now. I'm just a pretty average-looking guy. Like if you've ever played the Wii and you go to create a character, just the default character looks exactly like me. It's insane. It's like video game scientists came together and were like, all right, mathematically, that's a blank slate of a person right there. And my body is just kind of blah, you know? Like, it'd be great if I was in really good shape because, you know, girls are into that. But it'd also be cool if I was super fat. Some girls are into that. But nobody's into what I got going on here. Like my body's like an unmade bed, you know? It only takes a couple of minutes every day to make it look good, but if nobody, what's the point? You know? It'd be cool if I had like a tattered past or something, if I was a bad boy, but I'm not. I'm wearing fucking jean shorts. Like, I'm not a bad boy. The only girls who think that I'm a bad boy are super Christian girls. They're like, he smokes cigarettes and says the fuck word. Oh, I like it. But they don't put out, so fuck them. It's about time for me to get out of here. Just want to say thank you so much for watching. Oh, shit. What's up, guys? Are you doing a fucking show? Yeah. Yeah. No, sorry. You're coming here to talk. Yeah. I snuck in. I didn't tell you. I didn't. Okay, but seriously. Oh, fuck!
Everybody, that's been Jake Rowe.
Jake Rowe, everybody. He's undeniably cute.
Puppy.
Look at that. That is, you can't, I don't, you know, we should give him a set. I don't know. He's too hot. He's also very scared of all the thunder. I'm going to let him go hide underneath the chair. This is Isolation Comedy Fest. We got 3 more copies. Lucky you guys. If you would like to great, that's right down there. If you'd like to subscribe, pretty cool. It's backwards. I'm sorry, guys. Just click on the links. Click on the links. You guys got to Twitch. What the fuck is Twitch? 2 months ago, you said Twitch. I did not know what it is. Now I'm doing a show here. Hey, how about the next comic? Co-writer of Latino Card Revoked. Recently featured for Tom Green in The Before Time. Give it up for Tori Poole.
Hi guys, I hope everybody's enjoying their pandemic.
I've been doing great. I haven't worn a bra since this whole thing started. It's been great. That and sports bras, I'm just doing my part to flatten the curve. You guys are cute. I love going braless, but after a couple of days, I'll put on a bra just to feel something. Remind myself that I'm alive. I realized early on that I'm not the best person to talk about COVID-19, you know? One of my family members was asking what I thought the worst case scenario might be. And I said, well, I mean, society could break down, homelessness, you know, mass incarceration. We might have to eat the dog. And they just got really quiet. And then they said, Mom. So I'm going to stop sharing my thoughts with them. I have been doing a couple of online shows. Recently, the host brought me up by saying, what are you? Which was really interesting to know that COVID-19 allows us to be racially ambiguous. She was very confused, and bless her heart, she asked me where my holy water was, and then she asked me where my crucifix was. And I couldn't figure out if she thought I was Mexican or a vampire hunter. Yeah, I've been thinking a lot about culture. I do identify as Peruvian, Mexican, and Spanish, but I get mixed reviews when I tell people that I'm just PMS. Okay. I don't get along with a lot of Latino men. We just bump heads. I don't know what it is. Every time I meet a Latino, they kind of come up to me and they stand in front of me and they kind of just go, ugh. And then I go, ugh. And then it becomes a weird Highlander moment where there can be only one of us. And I mean, they win, right? I say, like, honestly, you're wearing basketball shorts and it's always like, it's every time of year, basketball shorts. I don't understand the basketball shorts, so I like to ask them to see their jump shot. Spoiler alert, they don't have one. Yeah, these are going great. Let's see. I do not like to date Latino men because I'm worried that we might be related. My dad got around. But I did date my fair share. It seemed like everyone that I chose was already in a long-term serious relationship with their mothers. So it would never work out. I do have issues. I do have daddy issues with Latino men, but I don't think my dad was trash. He taught me the power of my mind at a really young age. I remember he was visiting one time and I had the hiccups. I used to get the hiccups really bad for no reason and I could not get rid of them. And he happened to be there and he looked at me and he said, girl, because he didn't know my name. And he just, you know, like pat me on the head and he was like, girl, how you get rid of hiccups is you just don't think about them and they go away. Yeah, guys, he hiccuped our family away. It's me. I'm home. Okay, daddy issues are cool. I am married. I've been married for 13 years. No applause is needed. He's older and white. I thought he'd be dead by now. Still alive. Being married to a white guy has been pretty cool. I married the first one that would have me. Too bad he's from Corpus Christi, Texas, which means he's pretty much Mexican, guys. Yeah, he did give me the last name Pool, which is super good because it makes me excellent at job interviews that are over the phone. But I also become the diversity hire, you know, on that brochure when I get the job. Just trying to hit. Okay, cool. No. Let's see. Married. Marriage is hard, especially during the pandemic. Like I was eating dinner with my husband the other day and I just watched him chew for 5 minutes. And then I prayed that he would choke. So that was weird. We do have a kid together. I like to call him the boy that lived. A little bit Harry Potter too. He's living his best pandemic, guys. Like, he is sleeping all day, playing video games all night. Meanwhile, I am furiously checking his grades to see what I got in English for 7th grade. I am a high school dropout that used to teach high school. Texas will hire anyone. I used to joke the best part of my job was trying to figure out which one of my coworkers was going to sleep with a student. Texas does lead in inappropriate relationships with students, guys. We are finally leading an education somewhere. I do worry about coaches that are, you know, no longer, that statistic is probably going down. They don't have access to their kids, but I do hope that someone is teaching them TikTok. All right. I have my timer that went off before that little sad thing went off. So I'm gonna say thank you so much, guys. I hope you're having a good pandemic.
Ori Pool, yeah. I don't know what TikTok is. I will not get into it. I don't know. Is it it doesn't matter. When can comedy exist again? Oh, you know what? It can exist right now. We have 2 more comics.
Yeah.
And they're so good. And you guys are so lucky. This next comedian, you've seen them on SF Sketchfest and Happy Trucker Radio Show. Give it up for Blair Postman.
Yeah.
Hey everybody! First of all, big round of applause for Tori. Fantastic. And yes, I do identify as female. Sorry, Colton. Anyway, guys, my name is Blair Postman. I am super excited to be here. And yes, my voice does sound divorced. Yeah, it does, for a reason. So I am in quarantine with my husband. I've been married to my current husband now for just a little over 12 years. P.S. does not love it when I call my current husband. Doesn't sound optimistic, you see. Anyway, mostly things are good, but a few years ago, he threw like a little plot twist into our relationship, right? He decided to give up drinking alcohol because he's a quitter who hates fun. I'm more disappointed than you guys look, I promise. And the irony is I love active alcoholics, right? They're exciting. It's 9 a.m. Where's the car? Nobody knows. Excitement time. Adventure. And they are brave, right? Because no non-alcoholic is going up to the boss everyone hates at the Christmas party and saying, fuck you, you fucking fuck. Only the alcoholic hero is taking that bullet for the team. I know we've got some heroes out there in the gallery of the comedians, I'm sure. That usually is. So guys, I feel pretty close to you watching everyone on Zoom for the last 7.5 hours. And I'm gonna share a little something with you about myself. You know, you do enough of these shows in the quarantine and barriers break down. We all got these things like our little quirks, our little kinks, the stuff we keep on the down low. I'm going to tell you one of mine. All right. I happen to enjoy a private Facebook group called This Cat is Chunky. Some of you know it. Some of you are clearly pretending not to know it, maybe because of who you're with. I get it. Just blink twice. I'll see. Okay, great. For those of you who really don't know it, This Cat is Chunky is a private Facebook group dedicated to the celebration and uplifting of plus-size cats and the road, the lives we lead together. It's a very body positive place. There's no fat cat shaming allowed. It is the nicest, most supportive place on the internet. So I dig this, right? And I told my husband about it because he's a cat daddy. I knew he'd be into it. 2 weeks later, I'm circling back with him, catch up on everything he's seen in Chonky Cat Land. He tells me he has gone on and joined over 2 dozen more private niche cat Facebook groups. More than 2 dozen. What could they be, you are asking me? I will give you some examples. All right, we got This Cat is Chonky, right? That's our basic fat cats. That's our gateway drug. You know about that one now. But then we've got ones like This Cat is Slunky. It's for very stretched out cats. Maybe they're yawning. Maybe they're in a sunlight spot. They look like very tall gentlemen. Then we've got ones like This Cat is Soggy. And that's just wet cat after wet cat. Pissed off wet cats. They're so angry. Until we get to my favorite group called This Cat is Really Chonky. And this cat is really chonky. Was started by a bunch of expatriates from the original This Cat is Chonky Facebook group. And they started it because they believed that the admins in that original group were not strictly enough enforcing the fatness requirements for the cats in the pictures being posted. So for example, right, they'd let someone post a picture of like a little skinny kitten with a note that said something like, hey guys, this is Jester, he's my future chunk. But these expats are in the comment section going, no, you're a chunk when you're a chunk, and everything else is fucking bullshit. Get that kid out of here. And this is angry enough that they started a splinter cell called This Cat is Really Chonky. They could better enforce their fat cat orthodox worldview, spread it across the globe. You know, when they came for the skinny cats. Thank you, people who studied World War II regret poetry. When they came for the skinny cats, I said nothing. Because my cats were not skinny. When they came for the hairless cats, still I said nothing. Because those things are fucking creepy. All right, guys, my name is Blair Boozman. That's just about my time. Thanks for having me.
Blair Postman. Yay. What a smart fat cat joke, you know? and also, it brought up Hitler. Like, I wanted that. I wanted that, and I got it. And so I'm happy. I'm very happy. Oh my gosh, you guys, we are at our last comic, and you guys are not going to be so disappointed. You guys are going to be so excited. Really excited because I just a little glimpse at the credits and punching Nazis and other good ideas published by Skyhorse Books. I hope it's about cats. Latest album with 800-pound gorilla records, Unclean, now spinning on Sirius XM Raw Dog. Give it up in your own house. Make some noise, yell over that thunder for Keith Lowell Jensen.
Yeah.
Hello, my name is Keith Lowell Jensen, and I write autobiographical fan fiction. All the jokes are going to be like that. We're just going to have to wait a minute. Good, we'll go through my 6 minutes quicker. Shakespeare famously said all the world's a stage, but I don't think he ever did a Zoom show. I'd have reassessed. I've been doing a lot of writing while I'm on quarantine. I'm working on a country western song. I've only gotten as far as the title, but I like it. It's called Her Safe Word Was Goodbye. If anyone knows a few chords on the guitar and some words that rhyme with goodbye, hit me up afterwards. We'll do this. Been writing a lot of suicide notes. Thank you. Don't worry about me or anything. I'm fine. No, really, I just I'm a fan of the genre. Thought I'd take a stab at it. Came up with one I think is pretty good. It goes, goodbye. You can have my records, but I'm taking all my pills. Kisses. Like the rest of you during this time, I am trying to be positive, trying really hard to think positive. Like if one of you was negative right now, if one of you were to yell out at me, hey, don't quit your day job, I would assume that the rest of that sentence was, because you made me a latte the other day and it was delicious. You're an artist, got the foam dialed in and everything. I am a married person and I've been with my wife for 26 years. We've been together now. And yeah, thank you. I am proud of that, that I got someone, tricked them into sticking around for that long. But I don't always like to say it publicly because I don't feel like you hear that and think, oh, whoo, 26 years, I bet he's a tiger in the bedroom. I think when you guys hear that I've been in a heterosexual monogamous relationship for 26 years, probably what you think is, yeah, I bet he's pretty vanilla in the bedroom. Probably think that guy wears pajamas. And I want you to know that shit's not true, okay? I have some very nice pajamas, but I'm kinky as fuck. Yeah. I am. And my big kink is I just really want to bang an old lady. And I'm very patient. Thank you for the courtesy laugh. Every birthday for my wife, I'm just like, get in there, baby, get in there. I'm good. Nice. We have a kid who some of you met earlier if you were hanging out in the green room. Made the decision not to hit my kid. I thought that was a rather obvious decision. I didn't struggle with it at all. But I had friends that thought this was a controversial decision. They're like, really? You're not going to hit her? Seriously? You got to hit her. You got to hit her, buddy. And I was like, well, why are you so invested in this, you know? And their only argument in the pro-hitting camp is we were hit. That's what they tell me. They go, hey, bro, dude, bro, dude, bro. When we were kids, we got hit. Then I have to sit them down and have that awkward conversation that we are not what I'm aiming for. Not at all. I had this idea that we raise one generation without hitting them, and let's just see if the world gets a little bit better if these people think that you can solve problems with words. You know, if things don't improve, beat the shit out of the next batch. That's fine. I'll help you. Boom, you little bastard! Your brother was a big disappointment. Help. I'm incredibly proud of my daughter. I'm a proud dad, and I think that's my job. My job is to be proud of her no matter what. And again, my friends challenge me on this. They're like, no matter what? And I'm like, yeah, no matter what. And they're like, well, what if she becomes a serial killer? And my first thought is, well, female serial killers are rare. And I can see myself bragging someday in the future. Excuse me, that's 17 known victims. No. I saw a lot of you are in Texas. I'm not in the South. The weather here in California is beautiful right now. A lot of people here in California are very afraid of the South, but as a comedian, I drive through the South a lot. I travel in the South, and I've learned something about the South that not everybody realizes, which is that the South is not actually in the South. The South is about 15 miles outside of any major metropolitan area, anywhere in the world. Wherever you are right now, I hope you're safe. Get in your car and drive for 15 minutes and you'll see, just south as fuck. You know? And then get back in your car and come home. speaking of being on the road, I have a very different attitude I've noticed about Starbucks from when I'm home and when I'm on the road. Because at home in Sacramento, I'm like, seriously, Starbucks, you need one on every corner? You know, isn't this enough? And then when I'm on the road, I'm like, seriously, no Starbucks this exit? Is that legal? How is this legal? This is bullshit. I'll wait. I'll wait till you muster up your courtesy laugh. I'll tell you a quick story. When I was in junior high, I wanted to take band. Surprise! And yes, it was so that I could start a ska band. But the first day of band, the teacher did something that teachers weren't really doing anymore at that point in the 80s, at least not in California. He asked us to all stand up and recite the Pledge of Allegiance. And this caught me off guard because, like I said, we didn't do that anymore. So I stood up and I didn't say the pledge. I'm going to just ram through this ending real fast now because I got the sad trombone. The teacher tried to inspire me. He told me a story. He told the whole class a story because he saw me not saying the Pledge of Allegiance about when he went to Germany. Like many men of his generation, he went to Germany. He wasn't in the war. He went there afterwards with a jazz band and toured. It was very nice. But he saw the difference between West Germany and East Germany. He sat at the wall at a nice cafe in West Germany, and he saw how cold and gray and lifeless East Germany was and how beautiful and vibrant West Germany was. And I raised my hand and I said, Mr. Haney, that's a very nice story, and I feel inspired. I just have one question. On what side of that wall do you think they're more likely to force children to pledge their allegiance? That's the story of why I don't know how to play the clarinet. Thank you all very much. Good night.
Keith Lowell Jensen. That's it. That's the show. Thank you to all the performers. Thank you to Derek Cotswall for the music. Thank you to Richard Goodwin for the technology to make this happen. You guys have heard about the trombone, but this is the man who made it happen. Thank you to Valerie Lopez and Laura Smith. You guys are wonderful producers. And if you guys are watching, thank you guys so much. Venmo, PayPal, how about that? If not, just tweet us. You know, you have a Venmo and you also have 1 cent. Send a message. Be funny. You know, get out there. Get out there. Write us a message. Write some money on it. And if you'd like to have something to say it online. That's what I say. That's my whole thing. Thank you guys so much. We do this every Friday. We'll see you next Friday.